Thanks for tuning in.
Hold on the table.
Sorry. I was like, oh, what did I do? Hi, y'all, and welcome to a new episode of Talkin with Taylor. Today, I am joined by the wonderful Wizard of Oz himself and Broadway veteran, Eddie Korbich. Thanks for joining me today and talking.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's jump in. Before we get into the big world of Wizard, I just want to talk a little bit about yourself. I mean, you're an incredible Broadway veteran. You have this wonderful catalog. You've been in kind of the original or origin of so many incredible shows, such as, Assassins and The Drowsy Chaperone and The Little Mermaid and Wicked, which I guess is our closest
Yes.
partner to this. So tell me, do you have a favorite show you've been a part of in that great catalog?
Yeah, no. But there are favorites, there are several favorites, each for different reasons. 1989, I did the 10-year revival of Sweeney Todd on Broadway, and I played Tobias, got to sing Not While I'm Around. And we worked with Sondheim and everything. And after I did that, by being able to be in that production on Broadway, every single door in New York pretty much opened up for me. Yeah. So as far as the true start of my career that allowed me to have a career, that's a favorite.
Absolutely. Sure.
Seussical is another favorite. You might not realize why, because Rosie O'Donnell came in as the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, how cool.
And through talking, she ended up facilitating the adoption of our daughter. Yeah. So that is a favorite show for a completely different reason. And each of them has their wonderful qualities.
Memory.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump into Wizard. So you're familiar with the story as you've been, a part of it. Have you ever done Wizard in your time?
I was Joel Grey's original understudy on Wicked. Yeah. So that kind of Wizard. I never went on, but no, I have never done the Wizard of Oz. On stage, ever.
Cool. Is this your first time to Starlight?
Yes, I'm so excited. Heard about it for years.
We're excited to have you in one of our favorite shows. So how have you kind of been preparing for this big...
Well, I talked to our director, and we didn't want to reinvent the wheel because it is so familiar, and we wanted to honor the movie so much. And I finally just one day said, would you... I mean, every actor wants to take their own stuff and bring it to the role, and I can do that. But I basically said, can I just do Frank Morgan from the movie? Can I just base it on Frank Morgan? He's like, absolutely, do that. And so we started there. And it's changed because I'm not Frank Morgan, but it started there. And so the preparation was just basically watching the movie. Yeah. And then Googling.
Sure.
I mean, do you know the name? Do you know the real name of the wizard according to L. Frank Baum?
No, what is the real name?
Oscar Diggs. Now he has like 100 little names like Alphonse, blah, 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 but it's Oscar Diggs. And his parents were a politician in Omaha, Nebraska, and his wife, who were both politicians. And he joined the fair and was a balloonist and got blown to Oz.
Oh, well, this is such a big show and a great big cast. Have you worked with a cast of this size, magnitude?
Yeah.
Huge? Yeah.
My first equity show was in 1984 at the Muni.
Yeah.
So that big stage.
Absolutely.
Did that.
Sure.
And then luckily enough, one time I was very, very, very lucky to get in Hal Prince's production of Showboat in 1994. And that was another huge cast. But they're few and far between nowadays, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. So this is the 80th anniversary of the film. When did the film come into your life? Was it something you watched as a child?
I can't remember. Oh, yes. I cannot remember the age that I first saw it. It was obviously on television, because that's what it was shown every single year. This would be in the 60s, 70s. And I was so into it that I would go out into my backyard. We had cement in the backyard and a little bit of grass, and in this little coal mining town of Shamokin, Pennsylvania, I would take my chalk and do the yellow brick road and everything, and do Dorothy, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Dorothy was the one. And then invite kids from the neighborhood, and then when they didn't know their lines, I would say their lines for them. It was amazingly in my head.
Well, that was going to be my next question was, which character did you closest associate with? So Dorothy was your...
Yeah, I mean, she gets to sing over the rainbow.
Yeah.
She gets to have all the fun. She gets to be blown in a cyclone.
She gets the best shoes.
Please. And at that voice, my voice was higher, so I could sing in Judy Garland's key. Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that.
No.
Well, Eddie, thank you so much for chatting with me
Thanks.
today, and I cannot wait to see you in this incredible show.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun. It's a magnificent cast.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
And now, guys, I am joined by the king of the forest, the cowardly lion himself, Robert Hingula. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Well, let's jump right in.
Sure.
What's it like to be in this iconic role, that has it's one of my favorite characters from the movie. What do you love so much about it?
It's crazy, man. I think all of us, have grown up with The Wizard of Oz. I mean, when I was little, it used to be on every Thanksgiving. It was like the NBC or one of those, it was always there, and watched it every year, and it was very much, the line was always one of my favorites. And I always, as a kid, I was like, gosh, I would love to play that in high school. I remember like, God, can we do Wizard of Oz, to be able to do it? And it never happened. And now to be able to do it here, especially at Starlight, is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
and I imagine it's very personal because you're a local guy, you're a
I am.
Kansas Cityan,
Yeah.
and you work for Pulcinelli.
I am,
We're
yeah.
great friends at Pulcinelli,
Yeah.
and you've come to do this with us, so we're so excited. What's it like to be in kind of that iconic show of Kansas and Kansas City?
It's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, don't get me wrong, but it's particularly cool doing it here because my family moved here when I was in high school. My dad was in the military. I graduated high school in Leavenworth, so grew up going to Starlight kind of after that and doing all these shows and seeing so many of my heroes and everything, either in concerts or musical theater. So coming here and being able to do a show here at Starlight, and then on top of that, Wizard of Oz, I just feel so lucky. I mean, it's kind of an opportunity of a lifetime to be able to do it. It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you have a favorite Starlight memory, having been here?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, we've seen so much stuff here. We got to see Friends last year when Something Rotten came through. One of our good friends, Daniel Beeman, was there, and it was fun seeing Friends up on stage with that. That was great.
It's
We've seen tons of concerts. I mean, that's what's crazy is I'm a big Jack White Stripes fan. I remember when the White Stripes were here years ago, and we saw it. And what's kind of surreal to me is going to be on that stage that one of my heroes was on. I mean, it's pretty surreal. It's crazy.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the character as you're portraying it in this version. I mean, this is the 80th anniversary of the film. Are you kind of hearkening back to that classic?
Absolutely. I mean, this is one of those. It's so iconic. It's so in everybody's brain. They want to come in. They have those memories. The whole like put 'em up. I mean, I feel like you can't do it any other way. It's done so perfect. It was just so beautiful and everything. So definitely have watched and kind of studied off of that, and and you try to bring your own to it a little bit because we're all people. That's kind of comes into, but that's such a big inspiration because it brings so much memories, and that's what the whole hope is that whether you're 80 years old, whether you're 5 years old, you've seen the movie, you come in, you're like, have that smile when you see it, and you're like, yeah, this is awesome.
Absolutely. And he gets some of the best songs too. And
King of the Forest is pretty cool.
It doesn't get better.
Yeah.
Robert, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Talkin with Taylor. For more videos like this, follow us on social media at KC Starlight and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/KC Starlight. The Wizard of Oz plays Under the Stars June 10th through 16th. Get your tickets at kcstarlight.com.